2021 has been the year of the daily trainers. We've had offerings such as the Nike Zoom X Invincible, the Hoka Mach 4, another fan favorite, and the ASICS Nova Blast version 2 coming out sometime in June, I hope anyway. That's a shoe that I'm super excited for. But among that same mix is the New Balance FuelCell Rebel version 2. This is a shoe that I was super excited for. It has that same FuelCell foam that we're going to get in the RC Elite version 2. New Balance's carbon fiber plate racing shoe. So yes, I want to get this foam on my foot as quick as possible, and I liked the fact that it was going to be a soft foam without the plate because you guys know I love the squish. I love the squish just so much. But the thing is, once I put this shoe on and went out for a couple of runs, I found myself worrying just a little bit about, is this shoe going to be right for me? Now don't get me wrong, I'm still excited about this shoe, but I just have to be a little bit cognizant of when I'm going to use it. Now, let's get into my first impressions and I'll tell you all about it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Brendon, and I am a non-elite runner who wants to share the joy of running with you folks here on YouTube. So if that's something you're into, consider hitting that subscribe button, and if you enjoy the video, hit that like button. We'd really appreciate it a lot. Let's get into the FuelCell Rebel version 2. Now, you know we got to start off by telling you the specs of this thing. So it's coming in at a super lightweight package at 9 ounces for a men's size 9. I think that's 208 grams, something like that. For a women's size 8, it's coming in at, I think, 171 grams. It's going to be in ounces right here on your screen. It has a 6mm drop with 26mm in the heel, 20mm in the forefoot. And actually, I do feel that when I'm out there running, it feels a little bit lower than that, honestly. I don't know, but maybe it's just how squishy this foam is, but we'll get into that later on here. And for my size 10.5 US men's, it's coming in at 226 grams. But I have to let you know that I did take this thing out in a rainstorm, and that 226 grams ballooned up to 253 grams. How do they expect me to keep on running when I'm getting 30 additional grams in my shoes? No wonder that run felt hard. So this upper is an engineered mesh and is extremely thin, extremely breathable. But like I said, I did take it out during a rainstorm, and the first puddle that I encountered, my little piggies just got completely soaked. There was no chance that I was ever gonna get dry again after that point. It was just game over for my poor feet. But that's okay because we're getting into the summer months, and I'm sure I'm gonna very much appreciate the breathability of this thing. The thing that I don't really appreciate though is the tongue. The tongue is not gusseted, but you know what, that's not real. I'm being a little bit dramatic. It's not that big of a deal. It still has a nice lockdown through the forefoot. The tongue is extremely thin, virtually no padding. It's essentially just a piece of material, which I appreciate as well, because in a shoe like this, where I want to be as lightweight as possible, I don't want any extra padding on the tongue. Now moving on to the ankle collar and heel counter, try saying that 10 times fast. That is a hard tongue twister to say. But anyway, it's a deconstructed heel counter to add a little bit more of support and structure through that heel to get that nice lockdown. And honestly, I had no troubles in terms of heel slipping. Like I said, the forefoot lockdown was good. So overall, the lockdown to the upper was absolutely fantastic. But like I mentioned during the specs, I took this thing out in the rain, and oh my goodness, this upper absorbed the water so much. It took on 30 grams in I think I was out there for 35, 40 minutes maybe. It absorbed a lot of water, and it took a long time for that water to evaporate. The eyelet chain on the upper is lopsided, kind of pointing directly to your big toe. It's similar to the Vaporfly eyelet chain, but less exaggerated. It didn't have as many stoats with the boys down at the pub as the Vaporfly, but it did have a couple, so it's just a little bit crooked. So far on my runs, the upper has been fantastic. I haven't had any troubles in terms of lockdown. The breathability is going to be fantastic for these warmer months. The only thing is, this absorbs a lot of water, so I don't think I'll be taking it out on rainy days, just because it gained a lot of weight and I was only out there for a short period of time. That's the only downside. Otherwise, the upper has been fantastic. Now we got to talk about this FuelCell midsole. So you guys know how much I love a soft, bouncy midsole. I'm obsessed with the Zoom X midsoles, and I kind of heard that the FuelCell midsole was almost on par with the Zoom X midsole in terms of softness and bounciness. And I gotta say, the FuelCell Rebel does have a lot of squish and a lot of bounce through that midsole. But the thing is, it is a little bit too soft for my non-elite ankles. That's the honest truth. When I was out there running today and yesterday and the day before in this shoe, I felt my ankles rolling along a lot. And I also don't have that strong of feet, so my feet were working a little bit more. So I'll just give you an example. Look how flexible this shoe is. You can bend it every which way. There's no resistance whatsoever. And that's fantastic when I'm out there running to build foot strength and all that stuff. But the thing is, I am just not that strong right now. So if I were to take this shoe out for a long run, I would probably have to go curl up in a corner and start crying for a little bit as my feet got a little bit less sore. That's just the honest truth. I'm being very vulnerable with you guys right now, but this shoe definitely allows your foot to flex, allows it to splay, it allows your ankle to roll whatever way it wants, which is a great thing because it can build the strength for that. But for me right now, it just isn't what I need in a shoe. As much as I want to use this shoe for a lot of different runs, I want it to use for my daily training runs, I want to use it for easy day runs because I do feel that this midsole can accomplish those things. But I don't think that where I'm at right now, it would be the smartest thing to do. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to reserve this beautiful midsole for those faster days and shorter runs as I build up the strength, because I do feel that with this shoe being so flexible, it is gonna be a great shoe for me to build up that strength. So that's just a little bit of a rant on the flexibility of this midsole. I hope it gets the point across that if you do have a little bit of a weaker ankle, a little bit weaker feet, then maybe this midsole may not be the best for you. But overall, the bounce is there, the squish is there, and I'm so excited to see what they can do with the FuelCell midsole in the RC Elite version 2, because I do feel that that carbon fiber plate will add that little bit of extra stability that I need for my non-elite ankles. But overall, I do really enjoy this midsole, and if it wasn't for me being a little bit weak right now, I would want to use this shoe for everything. So this midsole, I'm really enjoying it so far. New Balance is using endurance rubber for their outsole. I don't really know what that means. I'm sure endurance is just some sort of marketing term, but it does a great job. Like I said, those wet conditions, it handled it just fine. I didn't feel that I was losing any traction when I was picking up the pace suddenly. I didn't feel I was losing any traction when I was running on dirt surfaces. It just did the job. I had no complaints, and that's kind of what you want in an outsole. You don't want to have to be thinking about traction. You just want to get out there, put on the shoe, and be able to start running. And that's exactly what I was able to do with this outsole. So in terms of value, this shoe comes in at 169 Canadian dollars or 130 US dollars. And like I said, if my ankles were a little bit stronger and my feet a little bit stronger, I would be able to use this shoe for my easy days, my daily training runs, my tempo days, could even take it to the track. I think I would even race in this shoe. Well, I would absolutely race in this shoe. Why not? But the thing is, right now where I'm not that strong, I don't want to pick it up for my easy days and daily training runs. But for those of you that are able to do that, I think this shoe can be your one and done shoe. What I mean by your one and done shoe is you can buy this shoe and use it for literally anything. And for 170 Canadian dollars, 130 US dollars, I don't think that can really be beat, honestly. This FuelCell midsole is fantastic. The upper is very breathable, very lightweight. The whole package is just extremely lightweight. And for that amount of money, I don't think there's much on the market that can really compete with that. We still have a lot of testing to do, so my opinion could very well change, but I'm just very impressed so far with this shoe. And as you can probably guess by now, this is a shoe that I really do enjoy, and it is unfortunate that I'm not going to be able to use it more and more frequently. This is going to be reserved for my shorter stuff and my faster tempo days, but that's fine because I'm hoping when using this shoe for those days, I do get a little bit stronger through my ankles, a little bit stronger through my feet, and I am going to also do those types of workouts at home to just build me up a little bit more, make me a more robust type of runner. But if you are someone that likes a little bit more of a softer midsole foam, a little bit of bounce underfoot, and a little bit more of a lower to the ground feel, honestly, when I was out there running, because this midsole is so soft, it didn't feel like it was 26-20, definitely didn't. It felt more probably like 22-14, like felt pretty low. So if that's something that you enjoy, you like feeling connected to the ground, this might be a shoe that is good for you. But I will say that if you are more of a non-elite runner with a little bit more of a weak ankle, such as myself, I would look towards something else for now. But we still have a lot of testing to do for this shoe. I'm only 15 kilometers in. Like, we have a lot more to explore with the FuelCell Rebel version 2. Let me know, are you gonna pick up a pair or have you picked up a pair? Let me know your experiences so far down in the comments. I would love to hear your opinions on this shoe. Thank you all so much for making it to the end of the video. I will catch you on the next one.